So I was watching some video about, it was talking about how the right is going to lose in a upcoming civil war, you know, revolutionary war. Here's the deal. They were pretty much judging off of what's been going on, what's happened, who's been willing to fight so far. That isn't a very good landmark to judge off of. Pretty stupid, really. You're talking about a bunch of wipeouts that'll go wreck everything in their own city versus a bunch of guys who are working and raising families and have plans for the future. I mean, saying that the right, the conservatives don't have the willingness for violence. No, there's plenty of will on this side compared to the other side. It's just that, like, say, getting involved in some of these BS riots that are going on and all this kind of shit downtown in these cities and stuff, you know. Why would I do that? I go down there, I know the cops are going to be against me. I've only went one time. I went up and helped out in Williston. The cops were actually with us on our side, so yeah, I went and helped out. Otherwise, I'm not going to go get in the middle and have the cops be against me, have the losers that are trying to get free shit against me, and then have the court systems against me. Why am I going to... I'm not going to go down there and get involved in that garbage. I'm going to let them burn their own shit and loot and whatever else. If they come to my house and try to do it, well, then I'm going to shoot them. But otherwise, no, I'm going to wait till war starts, you know. Because what a lot of these weirdos don't understand is, in a war, people just get shot in the head and thrown in a ditch. To be quite honest, I haven't looked up the stats, but I know there's lots of places in this country, in a civilized country, in the United States of America. I know there's lots of cities where most of the murders never get solved already, as it is. Kick it off into a war, and then it will be free-for-all. The cities, they can't survive a storm. They can't survive a storm. Mother Nature comes in and frickin' blasts a storm on these big cities. Enough to stop the trucks. They're in mega trouble within a week. Matter of days, they're going into major trouble mode. And they're saying these big cities, you know, they're mostly, you know, like, because the right talks about most of the lefties are crammed up in cities. It's true, they are. And they're saying in the video that what'll happen is these cities are just going to expand out and take over the land around them. No, they won't. That is what they're doing with voting. They're not going to physically do it. No, they won't. They're going to hunker down in the spots that they feel is safe because they're a bunch of leeches, and they're going to be getting killed over a can of baked beans, and they are not going to take over the rest of the country. No, they're not. They're not going to do jack shit. Fuel is going to be gone immediately over here in eastern Wyoming, or eastern Montana and Wyoming. You're not going to hike over here and chill and kick my ass and jack my family up. No, you're not. I put my family way out here on purpose. Very real reason why I chose to head on out this way away from the coast years and years and years and years ago. Back when I was called crazy for all my ideas and all that kind of stuff, all the time. Because I came back from a war with new eyes, new vision, could see the country clear, I suppose, you know. There's been a lot of thinking going into a lot of this, but... And I could see that a war would start overnight, you know. I want me and my peeps to be the safest spot possible. Well, I think we're probably pretty close. So, no, we own, like, I think the right, the conservative side holds on to like 90% of the land mass of the United States of America, something like that. That isn't just no big deal. It's a major, huge deal. Even like Bill Gates, you know, buying up all the farmland. Okay. The only time that ends up doing him any good is if we don't end up in a war. Once we end up in a war, He can own it all he wants. Guess who's going to run it? All the cowboys that are out there on that ranch. You know, possession is 9/10 of the law. You know, and ranches all the way around the whole entire world don't mean that your say means shit. They end up in a war there. It's like one of the ranches out here owned by Walmart, you know. Ends up getting into a big ass war. Guess who's gonna? It's just gonna be the cowboys out there running it. That's who's gonna run it. They're not gonna all of a sudden start trying to kill everybody that's in the surrounding areas because they're owned by a bunch of tyrants, you know, the company-wise. Got interrupted there, but whatever. I'm kind of scatterbrained anyways. I'm just blabbing. I can't remember exactly what I was talking about. Yeah, guns-wise, you know, guns in this country. The genius of our forefathers in the Second Amendment, it's not going to be seen till war starts. They try to say the left is catching up, you know. They're catching up on gun ownership. Okay, good luck. We own half of all the guns in the whole entire world in the United States of America. Those are owned by 1/3 of the population. And those are mostly conservatives. And guess what? They're all buying guns and ammo at the rapid rate as well. So good luck, lefties, on catching up. You're not going to catch up. Fact of the matter is just once a war kicks off, there's going to be guns and ammo coming out of holes all over this country in a way that the world has never seen. It's going to be crazy insane. Like, to put it in perspective, this is one little thing I tell people all the time. Like, they could start taking guns at the rate of 10,000 guns every single day, which they could do that immediately, easily, you know. But then people would start hiding them. As soon as they found out they were trying to take guns, people would start hiding them. They've already been hiding them. But anyways, in just shy of 100 years, if they kept going at the rate of 10,000 guns every single day, in just shy of 100 years, they'd have all the ones picked up that are in our country right now. So that'd be if no black market opened up. So good luck. We can arm up all the standing armies of the world, of the whole entire world, 20 times over with what's in our gun safes, you know. That's pretty hard to comprehend. The cops are like 50-50 on the side of the lefties, you know. They have a lot of cops on their side. It's kind of interesting how that works. You got to be a really stupid cop to be on their side as they're trying to defund you, and they shoot at you and try to kill you, but then they call you for help when anybody else does something to them, and you somehow are dumb enough to do that. I understand it's a, you know, would you say a very respected position to be a peace officer, and I will say peace officer, not law enforcement officer, but with what they're doing nowadays, I don't see why anybody with a functioning brain would want to do it. Enforce a bunch of unjust, illegal laws, and then get spit on and all this kind of shit by the side of society that's all the scumbags, you know? Whatever. Whatever, man. Our side's not going to lose a war. It's just it takes a lot longer for a bunch of men who work for their families in the future to just throw it all in the trash and get into a war. Because that's what you're doing when you get into a war. Because it's all or nothing. Go for broke. You know, I'm not going to run off and leave my family and go into, you know, go off fighting some fucking war, you know, right now in the streets or something like that, and leave my family high and dry and doesn't fix nothing. I mean, it's a sense of that. I already went through one war that we didn't win. We did win that one with all the fighting, but you know what I'm saying. I'm not interested in fighting wars anymore, that there's not going to be a clear goal end win. I understand it's still always a mess in the end, but whatever. The left is going to be in big, big trouble when this side finally has had enough. It's a testament to this side's patience. I mean, there is cowardice, you know, but that's on both sides, you know. I wouldn't say it's stronger on one side than the other. Well, I would actually say the left is more cowardice. And just because a bunch of people are fighting in the streets doesn't mean they're not still cowards, you know, especially like cowards. In a lot of situations, a coward's the one that's more likely to kill you, you know. They're gonna lash out, they're gonna fucking freak out, they're gonna wig out, lose their mind, you know. Well, that's what we see going on in the streets with a lot of this stuff. It's just people straight up losing their mind, losing their shit, you know. So, whatever. It's just pathetic. I don't know though. The 3% is definitely gonna come into play again, you know. Most people do not have the courage to take off a mask or even to challenge that or question that. If you don't have the courage to take off a mask, there's very little chance that you are going to be a warrior standing up against machine guns. You're probably not going to, so that's okay. It's not going to be most anyways. Most are going to be the sheeple that hopefully at least just help supply the actual troops who do the fighting. But our side does have a lot of hardcore, real, manly men compared to the other side, but they're working right now, so ain't worried about it. When we get to a war, we'll get to a war, but I used to stress about that a lot more than I do now. Now I'm kind of just like, we get there, you know.